Ahead of planned August 1 nationwide protest, Akwa Ibom State Governor sues for calm. Governor Moino described late DC Andrew's demise as monumental loss. Akwa Ibom First Lady tasked women on unity of purpose, need for favor and prayers. And federal government set to restock National Strategic Food Reserve System. Details of these and other stories in just a moment. Good evening and welcome to AKBC 45 News. I am Miriam Ekbutu. Following the proposed nationwide protest billed for 1st to 10th August 2024, Governor Moino has called for understanding among Nigerians and Akwa Ibom people in particular. He bared his mind while speaking with Government House reporters at the Victor International Airport after attending a meeting of the Nigerian Governors Forum. A Government House reporter, Patience John, has more.
The governor, while acknowledging that protest is the right of citizens, however, advised that peace must be given a chance to avoid hijack of the process by hoodlums.
Protest is a right of the people. We want to appeal to the people to let us give peace a chance. The truth is, when we do this protest, hoodlums and those who don't see anything good in government may hijack this. And then we destroy government properties. Once we destroy government properties, these things will be replaced. The hunger will deepen. And we must not forget our experience from the NSAS, where we lost a lot of things to hoodlums in the disguise of protesting.
He listed interventions by the state government to cushion the effect of hardship in the state and pleaded for understanding.
So I'd like to appeal to the Akwa Ibom people to let us reason together. Our youth and indeed all of us, we are all in this together. There is no one party that is just enjoying while the rest are suffering. And together we'll find a common solution to the issues that bedevil us today. That's my advice.
Meanwhile, the distribution of the federal government's 24,000 bags of rice and the additional 24,000 bags from Akwa Ibom State government is ongoing. Patience John, AKBC News.
Deputy Comptroller of the Nigeria Customs, Mr. Andrew, who collapsed and passed on while presenting a report to the House Committee on Public Accounts at the National Assembly, have been laid to rest. The State Governor, Pastor Moino, who was accompanied to the funeral by members of the State Executive Council, described the demise of the late Deputy Comptroller of Customs as a great loss to Akwa Ibom and Nigeria at large. According to Tubimokon, the funeral held at Ikorinyaniti in Nsarubium.
Pastor, on behalf of the government and the people of the state, expressed his deepest condolence on the unfortunate passing away of DC Andrew. He encouraged them to be comforted and consoled by the fact that their late father was a devout Christian, a kindred and patriotic Nigeria who served the Nigeria Customs Service diligently while describing his death as painful.
The late Andrew Essien was an illustrious son of our dear state, a kindred from my local government area of Nserubio, and a Nigerian patron who represented the true essence of a consummate and conscientious public servant. He served Nigeria through the Nigerian Customs Service diligently and transparently, and his sudden and sad passing is deeply painful. May God grant our departed brother eternal rest, even as he consoles the family. Thank
The biography read by the daughter of the deceased, Miss Emmanuela Itop, described our late father as a committed Christian, a loving, caring, hardworking, warm-hearted personalities that will greatly be missed.
He played active role in fundraising and resolving challenges affecting the community. He was an advocate for good governance in his community.
The Deputy Comptroller General G.A. Itogo presented a letter of condolence on behalf of the Comptroller General, Nigerian Customs Service, C.G. Bashir Adeyin.
While DC Etop Essien was in the Nigerian Customs Service, he held important positions both in general duties and the account sections of the service. His rich experience and expertise in accounts and reconciliation of records was impressive and commendable. He represented the country and the service in some international meetings and conferences where his contribution brought honor not only to the Nigerian Customs Service, but to the nation at large. He will be missed by the Nigerian Customs Service. We pay tribute and celebrate life that was well lived, and above all, that was dedicated to service and family.
Otabimo Kun, AKBC News.
Rest in peace. Akwa Ibom State Government has augmented the 24,000 bags of rice donated by the federal government with additional 24,000 bags. Governor Moino made this known during a meeting with chairmen of local government transition committees in the state, where he directed the sharing of the rice palliatives to all the gazetted villages in the state before Tuesday next week. A government house reporter, Patience John, says the distribution has already commenced.
Addressing chairman of transition committees in the state at the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, the governor said each gazetted village in the state totaling 2,272 is entitled to 20 bags of 25 kg of rice. Government warned against sharp practices and delay in the distribution process.
We received palliatives, 24,000 bags of 25 kg rice from the federal government. We have augmented it, same thing, so we have 48,000 bags now. We are sending them to you, to your local government, based on the number of gazetted villages, and he has it 2,272. Those are gazetted villages that the state has. By our calculation, each village will have 20 bags. So they will check and deliver, but please, we have to ensure that we finish sending these things to the various villages. Please, by Monday, let's finish distribution. By Tuesday, I'd like to have a report that this matter is done and dusted.
On the winding down of local government transition committees in the state, the governor advised those not returning to be good party members and support the incoming, promising that his administration will not leave them behind.
I know that some of you will not be returning as elected chairman, but let me assure each and every one of you that you will not be left behind. So for those of you not returning, don't make a fuss about it. It is God that does these things. But don't worry, we will try and still accommodate those that are ours. Please support the elections as we start from the ward, we build up to the chapter, then we'll go to the main AKBC election. Do your best to support those that are coming in. Don't show them attitude. We are still within the party. It is, I don't know, we don't know where God is taking you to. May not favor you Don't kill yourself. Don't kill yourself. God has our future in his hands. But for the remaining days of work, put in your best because we are watching.
Patience John, AKBC News.
Women in Akwa Ibom State have been enjoined to continue to live in love, unity, and harmony to ensure collective progress, while eschewing actions that could fan the embers of discord. Wife of the governor, Pastor Patience Omano, gave the admonition at the July edition of the Akwa Ibom Women Monthly Prayer. Utuimo coincides the convent was on the theme My Season of Remembrance and held at Government House Banquet Hall, Uyo.
Represented by the Deputy Governor, Senator Akone Yaranyi, Pastor Patience Eno spoke of the forthcoming local government elections, urging women in the state not to fight over political positions, but be patient as opportunities will unfold for everyone someday. She assured them that Governor Moeno, who she described as a gender-friendly governor, has given opportunities to many women to serve in public offices and will continue to reward those who have contributed to the success of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the state.
She's interested in our standing together. The women of Akwa Ibom State. That's a concern. Yes. That we will work together. One spirit, in unity, one purpose. And that has to do with ensuring that our husbands, our brothers, our children are in good shape. Spiritually.
In an exhortation on the theme, My Season of Remembrance, Pastor Afionle Bong told the women that men may forget deliberately or by default, but God never forgets or disappoints. Drawing our text from Nehemiah 13 verse 14, Pastor Ibong reiterated that when God remembers a man, he gives divine instructions, breaks protocols, brings help their way, takes away shame and reproach, show mercy, open doors of favor, compels men to help and changes one's name and status.
He does not forget like women. He does not forget like the woman will forget. But today, God, when we talk of forgetfulness in relation to God, God operates in times and seasons.
The service featured Thanksgiving sessions by members of the Iban Patient Omoino group, and July celebrators who rendered hymns of thanksgiving and presented a gift to the women's prayer team.
Still to come, Akwa Ibom State Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development distributes coconut seedlings to schools. Destiny Hills International Schools are back runs of school year. This and more when we return. Stay with us. Yeah, so good to have you back. Public secondary schools in the 3 senatorial districts of the state have received coconut seedlings to plant in schools' premises. The seedlings were distributed by the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Eyagenopo reports that the event held at Community Secondary School, Ikorokubo for Uyu.
Addressing the principal generals of the different secondary schools who came for the event, the Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Fiongofo, said the state government is giving them the seedlings to plant in their schools because of the economic importance of coconut. Dr. Ofo said Governor Moino harps on Back to Farm initiative to ensure food sufficiency in the state, describing agriculture as the future of any nation. The commissioner appealed to agric teachers to ensure that students are deeply involved in agriculture, adding that the ministry will give prizes to the best 3 schools that will have the best farms in the 3 senatorial districts.
Since the beginning of this planting season in March, we've been going around public schools, primary and secondary, sharing agricultural inputs. And we intend to reach as many public schools as we can reach. It's important that we inculcate in our students the love for agriculture. So we start from the primary to the secondary level to the tertiary level to inculcate in our students the love for agriculture. Why are we doing this? It's important that we are able to do things that we can feed ourselves. And His Excellency has said we should go back to the farm.
The Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Mary Koite Basi, commended principals for their passion for agricultural development in secondary schools. She warned them not to sell the inputs provided them by the state government.
Please, when you take these coconuts back, plant it in the school. The coconut is growing. You see the good work of our dear governor.
The principal of Community Secondary School, Ikorokubo Fort, in Obon Ikbe, PTA chairman of the school, Barrister Samuel Nyamudo, and a representative of another school, Nsikarabas thanked the state government for the gesture, promising to make good use of the seedlings.
I also want to thank our own people's governor, who has made agriculture and education a priority in his Arise Agenda program. And he's not only talking, he's a talk and do.
Of course, you all agree with me that coconut is not only for domestic use. Coconut is used internationally. It's a base for our finances.
And I want to assure you that the harvest will be great. We are indeed very grateful. We want to extend our gratitude to the governor for what he has done.
Eyagenopo, AKBC News.
In a bid to boost economic development, the member representing Nseretai State constituency in the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Prince Onyefiorata, has presented a check of 1 million naira each to women of a Ekiminiabasi Nseretai Multi-Purpose Cooperative Society. This cuts across the 10 wards of Nseretai, including when other group formed by the donor to oversee a proper fund management by the beneficiaries. The check totaling 11 million naira were presented along with the cooperative's uniform to the 11 groups at the PDP Secretariat. Odod Esther Maran reports.
The donor, Prince Onyefiorata, noted that the gesture was a way of redeeming his campaign promises to open cooperative societies as well as give financial support to women of Nseretai to boost their businesses for economic development of the area.
What I'm going to do is take an open cooperative. Each one I get cooperative gain.
The women who received
financial support were trained on business development by Madam Lucy Epeyon, training on cooperative management by Mrs. Patricia Odofia, business opportunity presentation by a representative of UBA, Mr. Nekan Smart, training on repayment strategies, and training on loan management by Mrs. Mfono Bongyong of Splendid Microfinance Bank.
In accordance with cooperative law and bylaw, members should enjoy equal rights to voting. That is one man, one vote.
The executive members of AKBC Multipurpose Cooperative Society, who would foresee the activities of the women throughout the 10 wards of the Sedetai, were inaugurated into office with oath-taking administered by Barrister Bassi Felix Bassi. Checks and certificates as well as cooperatives uniform were presented to the women. Goodwill messages were presented by distinguished supporters of the events, including the paramount ruler of Nseretai, Etiron Peter Okun, while some beneficiaries appreciated the donor, stating their willingness to use the funds to improve their business lots.
Today is the day that my husband has come to fulfill his campaign electionary promises, where he made promise to the women of Nseretai that if they come together to support him to succeed in his last election, that he will empower them each ward. We have a work scheme which we are going to give it out to all the wards, all the ward leaders. It's a revolving facility. We are going to give it out to these women as a revolving facility.
Esther Umarin, AKBC News.
It was a moment of excitement for pupils of Destiny Hills International Schools ABAC at the graduation ceremony and successful end of the 2023-2024 academic session. The celebration, which attracted parents, guardians, friends, and lovers of education, held at the school compound, 40 Akpaneno Street, ABAC. Esther Marin completes the story.
The director of the school, Mrs. Rejoice Okorigwe, commended the proprietor of Destiny Hill Schools, Dr. Patrick Udonkan, for establishing the institution. She said pupils in the school are taught hard work and resilience as they pursue their educational aspirations. Mrs. Okorigwe urged the pupils to continue studying hard to become successful persons in the society.
Today is a testament to their commitment and hard work. We have reached a significant milestone in our educational journey, and we are immensely proud of your accomplishment. As you step into the next phase of your lives, remember the values and lessons you have learned.
The event featured pageantry contests, fashion parade where different tribes of the country were showcased, Bible quiz, newscasting, songs and dance by the pupils.
I am here to tell about my tribe, the Yoruba. This cloth I am putting on is called Abada. The shoe I am putting on is called Bata. The top I am putting on is called Dila.
Oh, wow, talk by it.
I'm here standing defender like Joseph. Like girl say she want every century.
Put your
Ms. Abasekeme Ukemumo emerged Best Graduating Pupil of the 2023-2024 Basic 5 class. In the pageantry contest, Ms. Deborah Inyang came first and was crowned Ms. Destiny Hills 2024, while Ms. Flourish Lovett came second and Master Emediong Isang judged third and was crowned the Pioneer Master Destiny Hills International Schools. Awards of excellence and certificates were presented to the best graduating students, while gift items were presented to winners and other participants of the recreational activities of the school. The best graduating pupil, Ms. Abasekeme Ukemumo, appreciated parents for investing in their children, while some parents spoke glowingly about Destiny Hills International School, Abak.
I'm so happy to graduate from primary school to secondary school.
To have a son graduating today is a very great thing to me, and I thank the management of this school for what they have done.
Esther Morin, AKBC News.
Artificial intelligence has been identified as a credible technology that augments human capabilities in achieving a sustainable balanced ecosystem in a world of evolving technology. This was made known by Mr. Hansen Johnson at the 10th Chief O.W. Memorial Lecture at the Akwa Ibom State Chapter of Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. This year's memorial lecture had the theme, Driving Sustainable Perception Management Through Artificial Intelligence. The lecture coincided with the 2024 Annual General Meeting of the Institute held in Uyo. Again, Esther Morin reports.
Mr. Hansen noted that the evolving landscape of public relations requires the use of artificial intelligence for audience segmentation, crisis management, and predictive analysis only to augment human capabilities but not replace human ingenuity. The chairman on the occasion and member representing Eket Federal Constituency in the National Assembly, Mr. Opolumete, who was represented by Mrs. Ekaite Bongokon, commended fellows of the Akwa Ibom State Chapter of Nigerian Institute of Public Relations for upholding the professional standards of practice for an improved society. He commended the leadership of Elder Manasseh Umoete for its all-round commitment in building bridges of communication and mutual understanding among professionals. The state chairman, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Elder Manasseh Umoete, noted that the theme of the lecture, Driving Sustainable Perception Management Through Artificial Intelligence, was apt as artificial intelligence has come to stay in this cutting-edge technology era. Goodwill messages were received from the chairman, Nigerian Union of Journalists, Comrade Emosetu, Commissioner for Labor and Manpower, Mr. Sam Uko, who was represented by Mrs. Rosemary Abia. The event featured panel discussion, presentation, recognition of new inductees, and presentation of gift items to distinguished fellows and supporters of the events. Esther Morin, AKBC News.
The federal government has announced plans to restock the National Strategic Food Reserve System to address food insecurity as well as stabilize food policies in the country. The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Aliu Abdullahi, made this known at the unveiling of the 2023 Global Food Policy Report on the theme, Improving Food Systems for Healthy Diets and Nutrition in Nigeria, Policies and Actions. It was organized by the International Food Policy Research Institute and Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition. Speaking at the event in Abuja Thursday, Abdullahi stated that the government is working hard to ramp up food production, particularly for major staples like rice, maize, and cassava, to arrest the current food situation. He noted that the country's production is not only for local consumption, but also for the West African region. The minister acknowledged that the reserve system was affected by the 2021 floods, but the government is now working to restock it starting from this year's harvests. That's the package tonight, but just before we go another look at the top stories. Following the proposed nationwide protest billed for 1st to 10th August 2024, Governor Moino has called for understanding among Nigerians and Akwa Ibom people in particular. He bared his mind while speaking with Government House reporters at the Victor Atta International Airport after attending a meeting of the Nigerian Governors Forum. The remains of a Deputy Comptroller of Nigeria Customs, Mr. Top Andrew, who collapsed and passed on while presenting a report to the House Committee on Public Accounts at the National Assembly, have been laid to rest. The State Governor, Pastor Minor, described the demise of the late Deputy Comptroller of Customs as a great loss to Akwa Ibom and Nigeria at large. That's a package. We thank you so much for finding time to join us on the news and wish you pleasant night rest.